Hey everyone. Okay, so this is going to be a quick video. I don't intend on making it too long um, because I don't really have a lot to say on the topic. But from what I've seen on YouTube as of today is that a lot of people have been putting up video posts of their relationship status and how they deal with their partner that is of a different faith than themselves, how they're Wiccan and their partner is whatever, Buddhist, Hindu, Christian, whatever. Um, and so I thought maybe I would go ahead and give an opinion on that as well. I just put up a video, and so this is probably the first and only time I will ever do more than one video in one day. Simply because it does take a little bit uh, to upload the video and get it, fixed up and all this stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it. I'm going to give my opinion on it because I feel like it's an interesting topic. It's kind of like a motivational type thing for people that are entering Wicca or just starting off in Wicca and are having troubles with their partners, what have you. So I'm going to give my opinions. I'm going to give my background as far as my relationships within my few years of dating. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So I have been openly Wiccan for 13 years. I am 24 years old, and I started practicing Wicca when I was about, I wouldn't say practice, but I started studying Wicca when I was about 8 or 9 years old. I had friends that were raised in it when I was going to school, and that kind of interests me in it because I was raised in a Catholic household and I thought this would be fascinating, kind of like a switch. So I studied it. I did my year and a day of study because I thought that's what you're supposed to do. And when I turned, I would say when I turned 12, that's when I officially jumped out and said, yeah, I'm a witch. Um, Most people wait. Most people wait until they're 16, 17, 18 years old to start coming out the broom closet. Even though I was raised in a Catholic household, I was also raised to be myself and to be open. And by the time that I came out about being a witch or Wiccan, actually, yeah, I think I used the term Wiccan because I thought witch would be a little dramatic. But by the time I came out of the broom closet, I already came out of the quote-unquote gay closet. So my family already knew I was gay. So how is being a witch or a Wiccan going to be any worse? You see what I'm saying? So they kind of, laughed it off and thought it was a phase because they knew I was gay. Being gay in my family, the way my family feels on it, you are not able to wake up one day and say, hey, I think I'll be gay today. It don't work like that. You are either born gay, or you have curiosity, or you're not gay at all. You might wake up one day and have the curiosity, but it doesn't make you gay. Okay? And that's how my family views it. But yeah, I came out the broom closet when I was like 12, 13 years old, maybe 14. And throughout high school, that's when I really got involved in the Wiccan community, both virtually, online, and physically in person. And I had, I would say, 3 to 4 Wiccans that I hung out with every single day while I was in high school. All 4 years of high school, I had 2 or 3 or 4 Wiccans that I just kind of caked to the sides of me. literally, like, they were everything to me, because I needed that support. And I'm very grateful that I had that experience. A lot of people don't. And so, anyway, my first partner that I had, I was, I want to say I was a junior. No, no, I was in the 11th grade. No, I was a senior. I was in the 12th. Yeah, it was the beginning part of my 12th year in high school, or you get what I'm saying. My senior year in high school. Um, I had, I'm going to sound like a whore here, but I had about 4 relationships throughout my senior year. I wanted love. I was one of those types of people that just had to have somebody with me. I didn't care who they were. I just had to have somebody to call my own. And that was a big mistake. The first person I got with was an older guy. I want to say I was 18. He was 42, 43 years old. And the reason why I chose an older guy is because I simply thought that older men were more mature. And I wanted that because I wasn't into football and sports and, all these things that make you feel like a kid. I was working 2 jobs in high school. I stayed busy. I had my own life. I had my own apartment when I was 17. And so I tried to stick with more mature people instead of hanging out with the ones that were having everything handed to them on a silver spoon. I was strongly against that. I believe, and I still believe, that if you want something in life, you have to fight for it. You can't just take it, and it's not just given. You have to fight. Um, that's how I was raised, that's how I believe, and that's how I'll believe before I die. Um, it's just the way it is. But anyway, I got with this guy, and he was sweet, very gentle, very kind. Um, I'm not going to lie, he had money, so we went out to eat a lot. We, got out in the town and stuff. It was a great experience, and I dated him for about 5 months. No, 6 months. Dated him about 6 months. And I didn't come out to him about my religious beliefs. At that moment I was new to the whole relationship scene, so I tried to play it cool. Tried to be calm and mellow throughout the whole thing. And then one day I got relaxed with him, and I don't know what happened, but I just randomly popped out and said, "I'm a witch." And it scared the living hell out of him. Um, it freaked him out really bad. And so he broke up with me because of the fact that I practiced witchcraft. Um, he knew that I was Wiccan, but he didn't know that I dabbled in, and I'm saying dabbling because I was still new to the whole thing, but he didn't know that I dabbled in witchcraft or that I was studying upon it. And it scared him because he was a um, evangelist. I think that's the right term for it. Evangelist, whatever, Pentecostal, something like that. And so it frightened him. And so that relationship ended. 2 weeks later, met another guy, probably about 25, 26 years old. So he was probably about 4 or 5 years older than me. And he was very cool with everything until he found out that I practiced Wicca. He questioned me about it all the time. It became like this thing to him, and that's all I represented to him. Which at that moment it was kind of cool at first because I wanted to talk about it. I wanted someone that I could share my opinions with and stuff like that. And then it evolved to where I was no longer a person. He just wanted me there to teach him and show him what I know. And you see what I'm saying? It became kind of freaky. And it came to the point where I was like, I don't feel like a human being to him. I feel like a book to him. He's just getting information out of me. So what happens when I run out that information? Is he going to leave me? So I cut off the ties with that one. And kind of the same thing kept evolving throughout my relationships. Um, the person I'm with now, Josh, I met him about 4.5 years ago. And that is amazing to me that I have been with the same person for 4.5 years almost. Because I'm not an easy person to live with. I do have my own flaws. I'm the type of person that likes the attention. Um, I like my the person I'm with. I like for them to be around me at all times. I like doing everything with them. I don't do things by myself. I want my partner or the person I'm with to be there with me. Does that make sense? So I'm kind of clingy, and that runs a lot of people off. But it worked with him. After one of my relationships, um, the relationship I had before Josh was abusive, and I finally got out of that situation. Um, and so when I got out of that, I was mentally exhausted, physically, emotionally exhausted, and I was like, I can't do this no more. Okay, and so I went with my mom had never been to a gay nightclub before. So I offered to take her to a gay nightclub, her and my stepfather. We all went together, and lo and behold, this tall, scrawny guy kept looking at me and kind of doing the smiling thing and all this stuff. And so I just blew it off because, like I said, I just got out of an abusive relationship. I didn't want anything to do with men at that point. I just wanted my own time to breathe. And so I went back inside after I went outside for a cigarette. I sat down with my mom and my stepfather, watched a couple of drag shows, and I was drinking a strawberry daiquiri. And then I moved on after that to a margarita. I love margaritas. I can't help it. It's just in my blood. I crave margaritas. The taste of lemons and limes and all that stuff, I love it. Um, but my mom kept noticing the same guy that kept looking at me. And I was like smacking her hand, telling her, no, don't do nothing. Because she's one of those weird kind of moms. She'll say anything at any given time. Um, and so we were sitting there watching the drag shows. I was relaxed. I was at ease, smiling, everything else. And all of a sudden, my mom decides to get up in the middle of nowhere, walk over to this guy, and offer him to sit with us. Um, I was very, very shy. I did not talk to him for about 10, 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I didn't look at him, didn't acknowledge him, nothing. It was almost as if he didn't exist. And then all of a sudden I started talking to him. I was like, hi, how are you? And, basic small talk. And it evolved. And it was almost like the goddess and the god intended this to happen. He got closer to me, started holding my hand, stuff like that. And it was almost like I couldn't hold back. It was a weird experience. And the person I'm talking about is Josh. And here we are, 4.5 years later, still in love. I don't even desire to be with anyone else because he treats me so well. and I'm thankful for that. Now, back on the topic of relationships and being um, being open about your witchcraft or your Wiccan practice. He knows that I'm Wiccan. He is atheist. No, he claims to be agnostic. Um, he says that he believes there's something out there, but he chooses not to acknowledge or um, label whatever it may be. Uh, and that's the alarm clock. If you can hear it, sorry, it'll go off here in a little bit. But yeah, he is agnostic. That's what he's claimed to be. Um, but he's open-minded. He accepts me for what I believe. He is interested in Wicca, and so I think that's a blessing that I can do these YouTube videos, that um, I can teach people. Uh, I have a book of shadows that I religiously work on. He's okay with that. I am a huge fan of TV shows and stuff involving witches, such as Charmed, The Craft, Practical Magic, things like that. I really watch, like, religiously. Um, Practical Magic, I probably watch that once or twice every single month. The Craft, I watch that once a week. And he'll sit down and he'll watch it with me. Um, it's just one of those things that at first it kind of is like a joke to him, but the more he watched how I portrayed it, he became more open-minded, because he understands that it is not just a religion, it is how you live your everyday life. And I live my entire life based on Wicca. Wicca is what I am. It is who I am. It is everything I live for. It's everything that I strive for. Because without it, I feel within my heart that I would be nothing. That is how close I am to my religious views. And so he respects that. He understands it. He's been to a few coven meetings. He has been involved in certain ceremonies and rituals. He meditates with me. And so I think it's a matter of time that he will actually be involved completely in Wicca. He's just taking his time with it. Now, even though he's not Wiccan at this point, I am still content and happy with that. Because it's not that I wanted somebody that followed my religion. I wanted somebody that accepted me for what I do and how I live my life and what I believe in. That's all I ever asked for. And he is the first person I found that did that. And the fact that he is open-minded and he listens and he tries to understand where I'm coming from on topics surrounding witchcraft and Wicca, I think it's brought us closer together, because he knows where I stand in my life. I know where he stands in his life. And so we make a compromise to work things out together, even though we are different. We are different, but we're still equal. Does that make sense? Um, so, I mean, it's really been quite a blessing, and I thank the Goddess every day for having a relationship like this. There have been times that I have wished for more out of life, but the more I sit down and think about it, I try to accept the fact that I have everything I want. We have a good, steady income coming into the house, so we have the money to be able to do the things that we want to do, along with enough money to save for our future and stuff like that. I have my altar, I have my goddess statues, I have my faith, I have my partner, I have my babies. which this is the new addition to the family, Isabella. She's a pretty little baby, but she's trying to sleep. I'm sorry. But yeah, um, I have my animals and stuff, and so I mean, I'm happy, I'm content, and my biggest worry, I guess, at this point is finances. I will always be that way. I won't say I'm greedy, but I just want to know that we're okay when we get older. Um, when he retires from his job and I retire from mine, um, I want to know that we're going to be okay. That's my biggest worry. Um, but other than that, I am content and I am happy and I'm grateful that I have a partner that is here for me, that supports me in what I do, what I teach, and my philosophy. Um, so, yeah, I I've done long enough on this video. I'm sorry that I took so long explaining everything, but I hope I gave enough details. I hope that, I doubt it's going to happen, but I hope that it inspired somebody to not just go out with somebody because of something. Really try your best to wait, and the goddess and the god will give you someone as long as you are patient and understand that they will give you someone that is meant for you. And I feel like I have found that, and it took me being physically abused, being dumped, being spit on, all of this stuff, being treated like trash, to realize I need to just shut the hell up, sit back, and wait. And by doing so, I have the life I have now, and I'm very thankful and very grateful. So, I hope it inspired some of y'all, and I hope that I said enough in this video. May the goddess and the god be forever in your heart. I love you all, and thank you for watching. Blessed be.